And on the drum stock there is Martin, this is Doug, and Dale, and Bruce. And they'll be singing for you now, and after lunch at 12, after lunch, they'll be doing a concert for an hour and 15 minutes, and also tonight at 7:30. They'll be doing a concert for 2 hours, a whole bunch of new songs that they haven't done yet. And you can buy tickets at the door. It opens at 7, and tickets are $5. It's a really good deal, so now
Good morning. Hey, you're awake. I'd like to say it's a real honor for us to be here and to be a part of your spiritual emphasis week. We're excited about this, and we hope you can get something out of it. If you don't mind, I'd like if you'd bow your heads in a word of prayer with me. Dear Lord, I thank you for this opportunity to come and worship, to come and learn about you. I pray that you can mold our lives wherever we may be in our life. I pray that you mold us to be more like yourself. In your name I pray. Amen. I'd like to tell you a little bit about my childhood. I grew up awful fast, so it's short. I had a mother who was a really incredibly good mother. She would always read to me from the Bible, and she would get me to memorize certain verses. And a lot of times as a kid, I didn't really like that too much. But as you get older, you learn to appreciate it. And one of the things she always stressed to me was the importance of having the knowledge that you learn in your head move from just a head knowledge to a heart knowledge. And she said that's so important because once it does that, that's when it becomes a real faith. And I think you've been dealing with that a little bit this week in Spiritual Emphasis Week. I was reading through some of the plays and stuff that went on here, I think. And they covered something as far as, how did it go? That as a Christian, it's very important that what you say and what you do becomes what you are and what you are. So that no longer it's just your actions, but it's what you are actually being. You're being your faith. And we're going to do a song now. It's called The Difference. And it kind of talks about a person who does a lot of good things and good deeds, but maybe does them for the wrong reasons or the wrong motives. And as a result, does them all in vain. It's called The Difference.
couple of years ago, our family went through a very difficult time. And although it was a hard time, I really learned a lot from it. My oldest sister had a little boy, his name was Daniel. And when he was 2 months old, he died of crib death. Totally unsuspected thing, and it was tough. Person really asks a lot of questions during a time like that. My little nephew's name was Daniel because in the Bible, Daniel was a mighty man of God, and because of him and his faithfulness, God did a lot of really great things. And it was my sister and husband's prayer that their little boy Daniel would grow up to be someone who God could use for some great things. That his life would matter. And he died 2 months. It's really tough to understand. We can never know everything. That's where we need to trust that God, who is love, is always with us and working through some really difficult situations. And he proved that he is love because Jesus himself died on the cross for you and me. You can't make a stronger statement than that. And one thing about little Daniel's short life, it really helped me to see that life is short and it's so important that we live our life for something that matters. I could spend my whole life just trying to get rich and maybe be as rich as Donald Trump, who knows, but when I die, big deal. If I just took care of myself, what does it really matter? But when someone like Mother Teresa dies, there's going to be a lot of people left behind who are going to be very thankful for that woman's life. It's forever that matters, and it's so easy to get things twisted around so that we forget that. We're going to do a song that's called What About Forever? And it's a song that was written for Daniel's funeral.
Left
vision of you begins to slip away. Teach this heart to know you. Surrender to your will. It's like you give me, I love to give you. Take it and use it as you will. What about forever? What about forever? What about forever? What about forever? Don't you think about the future? When the minutes turn to memories into cry. Can you see the morning sun? Some shadow fingers touch the sky. Whispers of a hope that's true. This world is not my home. 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 This world is not my You're right with you. Unlike Bruce, who grew up in a strong Christian home, I grew up in a Christian home, but I don't think it was quite as strong. You know, I went to church all the time, and I went to Sunday school and confirmation and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure lots of you guys know what that's about. But it didn't really make any sense to me, or I didn't really, give two hoots about it until later on, when I really had to make some important choices. I think a lot of times, especially junior high, high school, probably college too, I don't know. People can get really caught up in the way they look and the way that they want other people to see them. They want to be, hip, happening? I don't know, maybe that's from the 60s, but they want to be a cat, You hear what I'm saying, sister? They want to be cool. They want people to like them, and sometimes they get so caught up in that they forget about things that are really important. And like Doug's just saying about forever, they forget about forever. And they totally forget about, their relationship with God. If they used to have one, sometimes they forget about it and they don't give it any importance anymore. Or maybe they've never even known that, this God existed, and it's time for them to get into that relationship. In the Bible, it talks, in the last book of the Bible, there's a letter written to a church in Laodicea, and it's kind of scolding the church. And God is saying to them through a prophet, He says, look, I know what you've done. You're neither hot nor cold. He's talking about their indifference. They don't care. He says, I wish you were one or the other, hot or cold. But because you're not, I'm gonna get rid of you. In fact, He says, like a piece of rotten food that's very distasteful, He says, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth. And that's serious stuff coming from the guy who created the universe, right? When He says He's going to spit you out of His mouth because you're distasteful to Him, that means you're distasteful. That means something's not right. And I think it's important that we put our trust and all our strengths into the things that God says are important, and that's things
that are treasures that lie in heaven, not earthly treasures like cars, houses, fancy hairdos, whatever. All the things that all the things that most people tell you are really important. You got to do this, you got to do that. Chances are a lot of those really aren't that important. And we're supposed to store our treasures up in heaven, in the things that God says are important. And when we do that, we'll find that we don't have to worry too much about peer pressure. We don't have to become anxious about, all the little things that the little devil's trying to deceive us with. Instead, we can know that we can press on to all the challenges and be confident knowing that, there's a great treasure that lies ahead, and that's God's gift of eternal life. get real smart.